Hey guys, what's going on? It's lunchtime, and you know what that means. Another great episode of Roundtable with Steve, because we changed the name from Lunchtime Talk with Steve to Roundtable with Steve. I actually changed it back to what it was originally. And just to give you guys a little background on that, it's because we're online, so we're getting viewers from all over the world. And when I say lunchtime, um, some of my viewers are out in LA, so for them it's breakfast. And then we have viewers that are out in Europe, so for them it's dinner. So for me to call it lunchtime talk with Steve when some people are eating ham and eggs and the other people are eating, steak and potatoes, it's kind of crazy to call it lunchtime talk with Steve. So I went back to the original name of Roundtable with Steve. All right. So today we actually have with us Rocky Kandola, and Rocky is very involved in the hair industry. So that's one of the things we're going to talk about. And you guys know what I'm talking about, the fake hair that your girl is wearing. Um, I mean, let's call it what it is. All right. So I'm gonna run the intro. Go ahead and share it with your friends, your relatives, your favorite groups, all these different things. Let them know that Steve is on and come and join the conversation. All right. We really want to hear from you. We really want you to join that conversation. All right. Go ahead and share it out, and we'll be right back with you. All right, so we are back. So what we're talking about today is we're going to be talking about the hair industry, and we have Rocky on with us, Rocky Kandola. Let me bring him on. Hey, Rocky, what's going on? How's it going?
Good. How are you doing?
Good, good. Can't complain. You know how we do. So introduce yourself to the audience, and then we're gonna go ahead and jump right into your company and what you do and things of that sort. Okay.
Okay, definitely. My name is Rocky Kandola. I'm the CEO and founder of Maiden India. We are a world-leading brand of hair extensions, mainly doing business-to-business work, giving all of our clients the ability to run their businesses safely, securely, and with a backed-up team and supplier behind them.
All right. Awesome. All right. So now, so you, what is it exactly that you do? Do you source the hair, or do you sell the hair, or how does that work?
So hair is one of those things where it's one of those industries where if you don't stay pretty hands-on and stay connected to not only the manufacturing and sourcing side, but also the client-facing side, you're going to run into a lot of issues. So I do a little bit of it all. I travel to India twice a year, meet my connections, meet suppliers, make sure operations that are shared factory are all running smoothly, and then the rest of the year I'm doing trade shows, traveling in the country, traveling around different places, meeting with clients, meeting with business owners, and meeting with direct retail consumers as well. Actually selling the hair products.
So basically, then, the most of the hair that you're seeing that people are wearing. I mean, have you ever done that? You walk down the street, and you go, "Hey, wait a minute, that's one of mine."
I mean, not before I got into business, but now it's so funny. I see people. I used to love making eye connection. I still do, but now I see people's hair first almost. Like as soon as I see someone's hair, I'm like, oh, that might be some good Indian temple hair right there. So
So tell me. So first off, one of the things that I definitely have to go there on this is we see that the majority of the customers that are buying these hairs, that are buying the hair pieces are black people, but still black people don't have a foothold in the industry. How much of the industry, or I don't think they do. So that's my question to you: is how much of the industry is actually black owned, or even the hair stores or anything like that?
So I can. There's two basically different ways to talk about it. 6 years ago when I first started, and even still now, the Chinese and Asian markets have very very strong footholds in it. As you know, even me growing up in my community back in Mississippi, any beauty supply store you see is usually Chinese Asian owned. That being said, the last, and I deal, like I said, directly with business owners. The last year or two, it has been an overwhelming majority of black-owned women and men coming into the industry and coming in strong. Coming in with investment money, with time, with dedication. People that have been working on it for a while, and I mean, it's really almost like blowing up. Like 6 years ago, it was kind of quiet. It's kind of this and that back and forth. Now there's a lot more black owners coming into it.
Mhm.
And I deal with most of them directly. They come to my office. They fly out from all over the country, come meet me in LA, and I'm actually seeing it, live in person because like even 4 years ago, I didn't remember this many at all. It was more like a little bit of retail, a little bit of wholesale here and there. Now people are coming and ready to start a business and ready to continue a business and do what it takes.
So, how hard is it for a person to get into this industry if they wanted to? How would they contact you, and how hard is it for them to start a hair store? I mean, what kind of money are you talking about for them to start a hair store you know, if they wanted to
So,
do that?
so I mean, as you
Because
know,
you're the supplier to the hair store, correct?
exactly. We not only supply the hair store, like I have a very personalized service. Like most time you're just buying hair from people on Alibaba or Amazon or some random foreign country. You're not connected to what's going on. You're not connected to the source, the supplier. You don't get enough information to be able to give to your consumers so you can know how to properly handle them and teach them what they want. For me, I give all my clients that. I work 24/7, and my team is a very tight knit
Mm.
team that knows the same information I do. As far as money goes, as you know, we live in like a digital age now where e-commerce is just booming, like crazy. And as we've seen during the COVID pandemic, we've seen almost 300, 400% increase in our e-com sales online as well. So that's a very good question I get a lot from business owners. What kind of money do I need? And it really, really varies on budget, goals, timeline, and where each like individual business stands at that time. If you're looking for a brick and mortar, you obviously have to, take in, rent, tax, liability insurance, stock, inventory, so many different multiple things. However, if you're looking to do e-com and you're looking to, start working the way I did, which was going to trade shows, I would get on Google and just go to every single salon in my area and actually bring them these products. You don't really need that much money. You want to have a good bit of stock if you can. What one of my mentors basically told me in the beginning when I first started, and he said it in Hindi, it roughly translates to English as "He who has inventory is king" in the hair industry.
Mhm.
Right, and that being said, I take it one step further and add on good inventory because like you were saying earlier, it's not really black on. People don't really know where to go. What people are doing is there's so much misinformation and misleading on the market that most of these women out here these days now are wearing stuff, but they have no idea where it actually came from, where it's sourced from, and they don't know what it's mixed with. They don't know what the companies and certain factories do to it. And the point from when a hair is cut from the temple and gets into a manufacturer's hands and goes to a factory, there are so many games that can be played with it to make it a higher or lower quality product. It's almost unbelievable, and the control is totally in the manufacturer's hand to be a stand-up owner of a business or not. Which is why a lot of these companies started saying Brazilian and Remy and Malaysian and Yaki and adding animal names to it and stuff like that. And it sounds good to the marketplace, right? So consumers, they don't really know. They attach the picture with the name, with Cardi B, and then, boom, that's it. And that's so, like, I shy away from that. When people call me and ask me that, I'll laugh a little bit. I'll joke with them and talk to them and let them kind of try to inform them as best as I can. I do my YouTube videos kind of based around the same guideline and align the same thing, kind of informing versus just selling.
Well, so the thing is, then okay, you said a lot of games that can be played on a lot of things that can happen between the time they cut it to the time it gets to the market. Like what? What are some of the things that that people should look out for?
So, first of all, it's very tough to just see a piece of hair like when you're buying it and know what it actually is. The biggest thing when you're buying hair is you want to know who you're buying from. You want to know the person. You want to be connected to the ownership. And you want to know what their business is about, how they run business. Are they connected to their labor force? Are they going to the
Hmm.
actual source of where hair comes from? Are they a stand-up person? Are they honest? Are they straightforward? As almost idealistic as that sounds, in an industry when you're dealing with human hair products like this, it's so important. That being said, women that wear hair, women that know hair, there's multiple tests such as the burn test, such as the cuticle test, where you can run your hand through a strand of hair and see if you can feel the cuticles. Small things like that, which can kind of give you indicators of real hair or not. On top of that, many of the companies that are kind of just lazy and not really putting their heart and soul and mind into where these products come from use stock images of the same basic type of hairs. If you see certain kind of like product packaging, it should be a key indicator that
Hmm.
it's probably not from a company that's putting much effort into their business and into the sourcing their hair.
All right. But for the average consumer, and I'm pretty sure that women are probably going to be like, "Well, Steve, I already know how to do this." But for the average consumer, well, hold on. There we go. For the average consumer, how do they know when they are going into a hair store? How can they really tell? Because I'm pretty sure the women can look and tell if it's, I don't know what kind of hair from. I don't know the different kinds of hairs, but I'm just saying.
It's
But
tough.
how can a person tell though?
It's very tough. I mean, when just looking at hair, like even me right now, if I go to my showroom, I can not open the showroom for another hour. I can go clean the hair in the back, put some spray on it, put it on the wall, and it'll look beautiful. And no matter how bad or how cheap the hairpiece is, um, people that come to our showroom in Beverly Hills, one of the biggest things we get is, wow, I've never been to a hair store like this before. I've never had this experience. And I love delivering that, an actual experience to people, because they come in, they're allowed to touch the hair, allowed to feel the hair, allowed to see the hair, allowed to see the differences between quality, texture, and everything like that as well. And sadly, there is no quick little answer I can give you. There is no one thing that, oh, this is good, this is bad hair. Even in my quality of hair, sometimes there's hair pieces in there that aren't as high quality because we're dealing with a human product cut from a human head. They're all kind of
Hmm.
genetic factors and different kind of factors from the people that donated the hair that could arise later on that you can't tell by the naked eye. And that's why my refund return policy is so open, because I like people to know that, hey, this is a human product. We might have issues with it. I'm not a company that's just going to block you, turn my face away, and say, deal with the banks or whatever. If you have a product that you purchased from me that didn't turn out nicely, just yesterday, a lady, wrote me a review on Google, wasn't happy, and I called her directly, and I was like, hey, don't worry about it. Like, it's a human product. I see the pictures you sent. I'll replace it for
Hmm.
you. Send me your address. I'll send it right back to you. And that's the way I do business. And I mean, I'm connected and I care, and that's what you need in a hair company, a hair supplier, a hair store. It sounds like a lot of work, and it sounds like, oh, I never want to do this business. I love it. It's fun. Like, I get to feel my clients. I get to make people happy. I get to make men and women wear hair to make people feel beautiful or more beautiful about themselves with just a simple hairpiece. So I love every aspect of it.
I tell people all the time, listen, if you can work hard for someone else, you can work harder for yourself. So people that think you get into business and it's going to be just sitting on the beach sipping mai tais, that's not it, then entrepreneurship is not for you if that's what you're thinking.
No.
But yeah, the hard work is definitely the fun part of it. All right, I'm gonna need to take a quick commercial break. So you guys out there, while we're doing a commercial, go ahead and share with your friends, your groups, whatever. Just make sure you let them know that Steve is on and we are here at Rocky. All right. I'll be right back with you guys.
You are now watching Roundtable Steve.
Yeah, I love that. I love that little ad space right there. Nicole Murphy, Eddie Murphy's ex-wife. But let me run a quick commercial real quick. All right. Let me tell you about CCTV RX. With over 30 years in the security industry here in South Florida, they have proven themselves to be the first choice when it comes to security professionals. So whether you're trying to secure your home or your business, there's no other choice. Give them a call today for a free estimate.
Would you like to be more tech savvy, create your own compelling graphics, sales pages, and marketing tools? Would you like to effectively use social media to generate more leads? If the answer is yes, register for one or all of the 8-module digital marketing series. You will feel comfortable in a judge-free, nurturing environment as we get the work done. My name is Melissa Jane, and I am your tech trainer.
If your car could talk, it would say call Curvin's Car Detailing Service. It's mobile and they can come to you no matter where you are in Broward County. Give Curvin a call, 954-549-8507, and tell him that Steve sent you.
Baby, won't you take me there? I want some real good food to eat. I want shucking and jiving, shucking and jiving. I want shucking and jiving, shucking and jiving, shucking and jiving. I want shucking and jiving.
Well, I know I got what you want. I know you like that jive shrimp. My son, fish, and them geechee grits. My granddaddy make you have a fit. I try to give you all of my best. I do it straight from the heart. Cook it straight from the soul. Now, straight from the soul. Straight from the soul.
Ooh, that's what it is, what it is. That's where it's at, that's what it is. Come on down and shuck it and jive and Cajun food with an old school groove. Our designers to get your taste palette back in line, baby. Follow us at We Shuck It.
There you go. I'm telling you,
I like that one.
I know, right? Every time I watch that commercial, I get hungry. I feel like I just want to go out and get some food or something. Oh man, but yeah. So basically, we saw a couple years ago. I think it was Chris Rock that had a movie about the hair industry. Did you see that the documentary?
I actually followed his footsteps. I went to the exact places he went to, visited the same people.
So Chris Rock got you into business then?
Chris, so I mean, that's not he didn't get me into business, but I've loved Chris Rock since I was a kid, man. I've followed his stuff since I was a little kid. So when he came out with that, I watched it before I even got into business. I watched that documentary it was like 10 years ago or something like that. It was a while ago. I watched it just because I wanted to watch Chris Rock stuff. And then when I started the business, I was like, Chris Rock that thing. Let me look at this stuff. And I watched it, and I went to the exact same suppliers that he went and checked out in Chennai, India. I went there, I saw them, I met them, had a picture of him, Chris Rock on the wall. Like, it was cool.
And this is what I tell people all the time. I'm like, when you watch TV, when you watch these shows, don't just watch it for entertainment, but watch it as research. And that's like me, for example, when I watch a lot of talk shows, I watch them and see how they do things, how they talk, and all the different things they do. Because I mean, one of the things it teaches me a couple extra steps, but it also makes me feel not so bad about some of the mistakes I make. Yeah. Because I was watching like Jimmy Fallon and all these other ones, and when they first started doing virtual, they were making so many mistakes, and I'm sitting there going, "What? I mean, how you making that mistake?" I'm like, they have multi-million-dollar productions, and they're making mistakes that I'm like, I could have taught them that. I could have told them, So it made me feel good about that. But so when you go to these suppliers in India, well, let's go back to the even to the beginning, to the source. The people that the hair comes from, I'm assuming that they're adequately compensated, correct?
So in India, which is where 95% of the world hair come from, it's something called tantrin, hair tantrin. So there's a religion in India, the Hindu religion is called Lord Venkateswaran, It's a South Indian god, basically. And people that believe in this tradition, in this religion, they go there to cut their hair as a religious act, sacrifice and offering. On a certain birthday, on an auspicious occasion, the death of a family member, graduating college, or just a yearly trip. They make a pilgrimage without shoes on. They walk up to the top of these temples. They go do what's called darshan, which is prayer and a talk with God, and then they go cut their hair. They would be disrespected if you tried to offer them money directly for it. That would not be the way to do it. What they do is the temples that they get these places from now are controlled by the government and have auction systems, which is where large businesses like us, we come in and buy from the temples directly. From there, that money is filtered down to the community, to the temples. The temples do free food called seva, which in North India is called seva. In South India, it's called the name escapes me right now, but it's basically the same concept. They feed hundreds and thousands of people every single day right there at the temples, and that's kind of how the compensation per se works. In some countries such as Russia and Malaysia and Chinese countries, they offer compensation for women directly. However, it's a very rough and kind of black market type of trade. These girls are really in need of money. They're from village areas, and a lot of times the suppliers come out there and offer them just pennies on the dollar for their hair, and they don't want to really cut it. They just need a little bit of money, so they do it at that time, which we don't do that at all. It doesn't feel since I started my business, I've been really big about doing things from the heart that feel good because of my business, and I want to feel good about it always. And that's kind of the line we took. So there's nothing bad. Some of them do very well. Some of them take care of the people they get their hair from. But from what I've learned, researching, many of them don't do that at all. And that's still a very small part of the market. The larger part of the market comes directly from India, directly from the temples. The temples have one temple in particular has over 300,000 visitors per day.
Wow.
Open, so. Yeah,
so there's a lot of free hair.
It's not free.
So,
it's not free. We have to pay it out. There's a lot. The thing is, once you get the hair like that, there's also the cost of labor, of manufacturing, of cleaning. That's a large labor force, large factory expenses. You have to wash the condition, paying for the machines to weft it, paying for the operational costs of the facility that you're using. So there's all kind of costs, that go into it. If someone wanted to come from America or anywhere and come buy directly from the temples, they wouldn't even be able to. You'd have to have, you have to sign up on the registration on the website. You'd have to have Indian tax ID, land, bank accounts, and then put a deposit down of close to $250,000, and then you enter an auction system. And from that system, you don't even know what you're getting. You have to just keep buying, keep trying. You get a big bag, 100 kgs of hair that will be a certain inch. You don't know if it's wavy, you don't know if it's curly, it's straight. From there, 30% of that bag is going to get wasted automatically because it's not going to be good enough to use in the market. And that kind of hair that we waste will we actually sell to the Chinese and Asian markets. And they have a magic method of, putting silicone and different things in the hair and processing it in a way that, they can sell it again, which ends up, being harmful sometimes and not good quality sometimes. But, some of those companies do well also. So it's a very, very deep and complicated industry and game. So.
It appears so. It sounds very complicated, but very, very lucrative as well. But so I mean, it's just okay. So, what about these eyelashes? Do you guys do the eyelashes too, or is that something that you just use from your hair? I mean, how does that work? Because I see women with eyelashes that are like this long, and they're like, "Hey, how you doing?"
Right. I've recently gotten eyelashes as well. I don't do them on factory. I source them elsewhere. And to be honest, I don't really get into learning too much about it. The way I learned and researched my eyelashes, I found out what my clients wanted and liked. And they actually asked me, "Hey, Rocky, I'm buying lashes from these people, hair from you, shampoo. Why can't you just have lashes? We can buy it all from you." And I was like, you know what? Tell me what you like. Send me the pictures. I'll make sure I get it for you. So now I have about 12 styles. I don't do the crazy long ones in the 20 millimeter, which I don't have anything against it. I'm just I don't. It's just too much. You know what I mean? I'm I got 15 styles. I keep those. My clients love them, and I just I keep those moving wholesale, and that's it.
I mean, how could you see yourself kissing a woman with eyelashes like that? She's gonna be poking you in the eye every time you kiss her. Like, oh my God, girl, you got me in the eye right there. Wait, hold on. Because the eyelashes are so long. I mean, it's crazy. But so when you see these girls walking down the street with your hair on, or when you walk into a store and you see, your hair on the shelf, I mean, there must be some kind of a pride that you feel that's like, wow, that's mine, that's my product. I did that.
I'm definitely proud of what I've done. Proud of the product that I have. For me, to be honest, I've said this before, and it sounds funny coming from my hair seller. I love natural hair. I love to see
Mhm.
natural hair as well. I mean, so it's kind of like a conflict in my heart. Like, it's, oh, you look beautiful either way. It's good. But I love seeing natural hair, and the way, like, I don't know. It's just something about the vibe, I guess, that how it looks on a person. Is their natural hair. That's who they are. So I love
Mhm.
that. I mean, of course, yeah. When I see someone like wearing something that I know is like that I sourced and sold, yeah, I'm definitely happy and the reason is like I've never been in the fashion hair or beauty industry before this. I'm more
Mm.
like connected to the feeling side behind it. Like I know they feel good. I know they're happy. I know they reach out to me like, Rocky, I love this. I'm getting so many compliments on it. People think it's my real hair. That's the part that I love. That's the part that I'm like, yes. Like,
So what about like those lace fronts and stuff like that? You produce those, or you just produce the hair to the people to make them? Which way?
both. I do anything with hair, the lace front wigs, the keratin tips, the clip-ins, micro bead loops, tape-ins, wefted bundles, loose bundles, closures, frontals, HD, 360, full lace wigs. Everything, the whole spectrum. I just don't deal with any kind of synthetic hair. It's the only thing I don't do is synthetic hair.
So let's say one of my viewers wanted to get into the business. Do you have any kind of mentorship program, or I don't even know what to call it, where you can help them to get into something if they wanted to start an online hair store, or if they wanted to start a brick and mortar store? Because I mean, in this day and age, right now with COVID, a lot of people are losing their jobs, and there are a lot of people that are looking for something else to do. So, any of my viewers out there, is there something that you offer or is offered in the industry that they can reach out to?
Yeah, I mean, definitely. That's one of the things that we do because I mean that's so important. Like we were discussing earlier, when it comes to a business, you can't just sit on the beach and drink my time start a business. You have to research, you have to learn, and that's the biggest. That's the first step that I tell people like that call me, hey, I want to start a business. So what do I do? I'm like, first of all, I put a lot of free information out there on my YouTube, on my website. First, dive into that because you're gonna have questions after that. From there, schedule a phone call. I mean, I do 15 to 30-minute phone calls for free, and then I have what's called a deep dive, which is an hour-long strategy phone call where my clients can use anything from my marketing expertise and what I've learned to like actual logistics and starting the business to the numbers and everything like that as well. My teammate Miranda, I've known her since college, amazing person as well. She works very close to me. She actually does the branding and the marketing side directly for our clients as well. If they need help getting their logos, their design, their site work done. And we're not a traditional random company that's going to put you in touch with the operator. We talk to you directly. We do FaceTime calls. We'll work with you until you understand what it is that you need. And that the biggest thing I see where people fail is they don't put the time in to understand, to learn, to really find out what's going on. Beyond that, another step, I actually take people to India on tours and show them the temples, show them the factories, teach them what is actually happening. And the power of that comes from um, the ability as a business owner to be confident in what they do, what they know, and have that knowledge properly. That people don't understand how powerful that is. As an owner, to have that confidence, not a false sense of confidence that you just don't really know anything, you're just trying it. The true confidence that comes from actually knowing what's happening, the source from the A to the Z, allows you to just expand and scale your business, beyond your belief almost.
And that's good. I mean, well, first I'd like to do the tour to India. I don't want to go do the hair tour, but I just want to go to I just want to go to India. I want to do the temples and everything. That's pretty cool.
It's a cool thing. I took a couple. I took a father and daughter couple, and the father came along, and I was actually able to help the father get his book published, get his T-shirt manufactured, and they got to see other stuff as well. I showed them the nightlife, I showed them the food, I showed them the alcohol. Like I love India. I was born and brought up in the States, and I was born and brought up in the deep South, so I kind of lost touch with my identity. I was actually ashamed of who I was as a kid. I remember being like, why am I not like the little white kids that are having fun and they get all the candy and Halloween, this and that, blah, blah. And as I got older and started traveling back to my country, I was like, wow, I have an amazing, beautiful, diverse country over here. and I just fell in love with it. But now when I take people back, I get to show them around and show them how the third world country is kind of the same, and people are a little bit the same, but they're different. And the food and the culture, like I love doing that.
So how old were you when you first went back to India?
I was a kid, so my dad sent me there when I was 11 to live by myself, to be there. He's having a little bit of problems dealing with me as a kid, so he's like, I'm sending him to India, like, go get a cultural experience. But I love traveling around the country. I played tennis. I hung out with the cows and the animals. I snuck out from the houses and went to the chicken markets at night and got food. And from that point until I was older, I always took a trip with family, maybe once or twice. As an adult, the first time I really truly went was after I graduated college and got to tour the country. And that's when I really started to fall in love and like, wait a minute, I'm kind of liking it over here. But before, I always remember my parents would bring us there and it'd be hot and I'll get sick and I'm like, why is it so dirty? And like, why can't I go see my friends back home? I want to be with my friends. And like, but yeah, that's kind of when it started. Actually, when I started the business, when I first went there, is when I really I stayed for 6 months as an adult, stayed on my own, rented a house, got a car and everything, and really got to feel like I live in India now. And it's amazing, man. It's so beautiful. People don't get it. Like the amount of people in the poverty level out here in America, you take that $20,000 you're making a year and bring that to India, and you're living like a king. You got Wi-Fi, you got your food, you got your TV, you got your entertainment, you still have everything you want, you need, But that money goes a long way out there.
So how would a person then get, and I mean, you're talking about the hair industry, but there's so many different industries as well. You have everything from the fabric industry to the clothing industry, making clothes, all these different things. If a person wanted to find out about doing those things, how would they go about doing that? Is there like a chamber of commerce or something they can reach out to?
India's a little bit disorganized. I mean, the infrastructure is not 100% built the way it needs to be yet. But you can just reach out to someone like me. I know I researched many of those trades you just discussed, such as clothing, such as fabric. Those are all business ideas I had in the beginning that I tried to do. Basically. And as Marcia said, the South can do that, and definitely true what Marcia is saying as well.
It does take away your identity a lot of times in the South, and that's one of the things she's saying.
Yeah, it really does. It's something that I struggled with a lot as a kid, and I had to really grow into myself, understand myself and who I was and my culture. My father made us learn Hindi and Punjabi, and I definitely learned it then. But my first language was English, you know what I mean? So it was definitely easy. Thank you, Dustin.
Yeah, Dustin. Yeah, Dustin wants to go to India with you as well too. I'm telling you, you're going to find a lot of people that want to do it because now with the way that business is and the way that things are going, it's whoops, I think I clicked on the wrong thing. My feedback. Now with the way that business is and the way that things are going, a lot of times what happens is now people are starting to see the opportunities that are available outside of the United States and outside of their area, whether it's their state or their county. And especially now, I mean, now you can have a business meeting on Zoom, so it's like, it's so much easier. It's so much better to reach out. And I always encourage people, expand. So that's why I'm asking you about different things, because I know a lot of people that are watching and they have ideas and they may not know how to start, but then you find that you might be able to help them with that half an hour phone call. And it may not even be about hair. They may say, hey, I got this design. I want to find a place to make these clothes or whatever, and boom.
Yeah. People that get caught up on what the exact business is. I was talking to a friend out here on the beach, Chris, a couple weeks ago. He's in the food industry, and we were comparing our timelines. We've both grown together the last 3 years, on our own businesses, and we were kind of comparing like the things we did, the talks we had, the steps we took. And at the end of it, we were both like, man, this is so aligned. Like, business is just business. Like, if you're putting yourself out there, if you're overcoming your fears and just getting into what you want to do and trying things, it looks the same from a bigger picture view. What the actual business is, sometimes there's like small details that are different, but it doesn't really matter. The biggest thing I tell my clients and people that I work with is start today. Like, don't get so caught up in making it perfect and not wanting to fail and being worried. Start right now, because you can start like you're saying, on a Zoom call, start reaching out to people. Reach out to me. I love talking about this stuff. So if you call me and you want to have a chat about it, and if it's something I know about a little bit even, I will give you whatever advice I have, whatever experience I have. I don't like just giving advice. Like I'll tell you what I know about it personally. And that's the way I learn now. I listen to YouTube, podcasts, videos. I reach out to random people. And people know business. There's always something you can learn about business that you don't know, from a person starting to a person that's the CEO for the Fortune 500. There's just so much information out there because people like to connect business and personal and this and that. But what do businesses do? They deal with humanity and people. And that's kind of what we need to be aligned with, is humanity dealing with business.
Mm-hmm. I'm not sure what kind of herbal products. I don't even know how to pronounce that name. So.
Ayurvedic herbal supplements. That's something that you would need to just basically look on a legal site or consult not even a lawyer. You could possibly consult like a legal aid or something like that and ask them about what kind of certification you need. Amazon is very strict, on how you're selling certain supplements. I know that if you don't make any certain claims that it can actually help people doing certain things, then that's one thing you have to. You can't actually say, hey, this will cure your weight loss. You can say it can help with weight loss. It's the way you word it. And Amazon actually has a lot of help if you reach out to their team and you say, hey, I'm looking to sell these products. I need to know how to stay in the guidelines. They'll help you out a lot. And then from there, you look on the FDA website as well, and it can teach you a lot about what kind of certifications, what kind of things you need to do to make sure you're able to sell your products on there as well.
She was asking if you can pin your contact.
Yeah. How do I do that? My direct phone number is 228-596-5678. I answer my phone. I don't have an answering service, so call me directly. I'll do more than I can to help you out.
And you said it's 228-596?
5678.
That's an easy number right there. Man.
I was like, I'm not letting go of this number ever.
So that's his number right there. I just posted it. And that's the thing. I tell people all the time. Like my number, I give out my number all the time. I give it out. Last night I was on a radio call in London, and I was giving out my number. It's like people are like, "But you give your number to everybody." So, I mean, most of them aren't. First off, most people aren't going to call, and then even if they do, that's what it's all about. It's all about helping other people. I help you, you help me. That's how it works.
100%. And if you're international, just put a +1 in front of the number, and you can reach me for anyone in the world. So.
Yep, and on WhatsApp too, because WhatsApp is the best thing. I tell you, I love it.
You know what's so crazy? 5 years ago, maybe 6 years ago, you go to the village in India, and they didn't have no one's connected. Now, in my father's tiny little village of Musapur, with a couple hundred people there, in the middle of a farmland that you can barely find on a map sometimes. These guys have WhatsApp 3G on a cell phone. They're connected to the entire world. So it's.
I'm telling you, is great. Like I would get, people emailing me or even, DMing and contacting me because they see my show. And sometimes I'm getting people from all over. I'm like, wow. I'm like, you're watching my show in Spain? I'm like, wow, that's great. Or in Africa, and I mean, I get people, from different parts of Africa, from Ghana and different things. So, and I'm like, wow. I mean, who'd have thought this little kid that, from Barbados would have people in Africa and Spain and Hawaii and all kind of places listen to him, Canada, Alaska. I'm like, what? It makes me feel good, though. I'm telling you, I feel great when those things happen. Hey, let me run a quick commercial break again, all right? And I'll be right back with you. All right. And I got to do my promo first. Wait.
This is Lamont Rucker, and you're watching Roundtable with Steve.
All right, let me run the commercial. I'll be right back with you. Let me tell you about CCTV RX. With over 30 years in the security industry here in South Florida, they have proven themselves to be the first choice when it comes to security professionals. So whether you're trying to secure your home or your business, there's no other choice. Give them a call today for a free estimate.
Would you like to be more tech savvy, create your own compelling graphics, sales pages, and marketing tools? Would you like to effectively use social media to generate more leads? If the answer is yes, register for one or all of the 8-module digital marketing series. You will feel comfortable in a judge-free, nurturing environment as we get the work done. My name is Melissa Jane, and I am your tech trainer.
If your car could talk, it would say call Curvin's Car Detailing Service. It's mobile and they can come to you no matter where you are in Broward County. Give Curvin a call, 954-549-8507, and tell him that Steve sent you.
Baby, won't you take me there? I want some real good food to eat. I want shucking and jiving. Shucking and jiving. I want shucking and jiving. Shucking and jiving. Shucking and jiving. I want shucking and jiving.
Well, I know I got what you want. I know you like that diamond shrimp. My son, the fish, and them geechee grits. My granddaddy make you have a fit. I try to give you all of my best. I do it straight from the heart. Cook it straight from the soul. Now, straight from the soul. Straight from the soul.
Ooh, that's what it is, what it is. That's where it's at, that's what it is. Come on down and shuck it and jive it. Cajun food with an old school groove. Our designers to get your taste palette back in line, baby. Follow us at We Shuck It.
I gotta give them a follow, man. When I go to Miami next, I gotta go to Shucking and Jiving. That's it. I'm doing it. I'm doing it.
Hey, tell them you saw it right here on my show, okay?
I know y'all saw the commercial on the Steve show. Like I had to come see you guys.
Man, next time if you come to Miami, you let me know because I'm in Broward County, just north of Miami. So you let me know and we'll go over to Shuck It and Jive together.
I'll make Miami at least once a year, man. I'll get down there for sure. I actually have property in North Florida, so I love going to Florida. So as a kid, I love going to Florida.
Yeah, it's cool down here. I like it, and the weather's always good. You know,
the water's warm. So, our water out here in LA is freezing. Like it's freezing cold, but the water out there, the Gulf water, it's beautiful.
Yeah. Tamara. She's telling me I'm a good resource because I always get good people on my show, you know. So, what else do you wanna? What other products do you have that's going to be coming up? What's next in line for Rocky? You know.
Got it, yeah, man. So, I work a little bit in the CBD industry as well. I source tea from India, and I infuse it with CBD out here. I'm actually in the process. It's been a slow process of formulating shampoos and conditioners, Edge and stuff like that. I just don't want to have like another run-of-the-mill product other people have. I want it to be special, I want it to be useful. I want people to love it, and I'm taking my time with that. My assistant that works for me here in LA, actually Aquarius, beautiful soul, amazing person. She's working on a hair towel as well, and a couple other small things like that. And so I love partnering with people. I love people that have awesome ideas and that need a little bit of help. And that, I have a platform now. I have a lot of people that I reach out to on a daily basis. So if there's anything in that industry, anything in beauty, entertainment, fashion, things like that, I'm able to push their products with them. And I'm not like one of those like, hey, give me a contract, I need 50%, blah, blah. I'm like, no, let's see what happens. Let's try it out. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure that if you do well, I'll do well with you. Like, so let's grow together. So yeah, and a lot of things like that. And then one of my bigger things I'm doing now is I'm getting more into like talking about my childhood, my past, the way I started this business, the rough times I had in the beginning. And I really want to start doing that more and more, traveling around the world, speaking, motivating, encouraging, inspiring people with my experience and my background.
Yeah, because the more you talk, I'm hearing that Southern twang come out there.
I heard it was a Shucking and Jiving commercial that got me back to my room. I'm like, oh man, I haven't been in the South for a while now.
Yeah, because I'm hearing that Southern twang. I'm like, okay, he's like an Indian cowboy. I don't know.
You should hear me when I'm speaking Hindi or Punjabi in India. They look at me like, where? We've never heard the accent. We've heard American people speak Indian or Punjabi. They're Indian, but we haven't really heard your accent. Like, where are you from? Like, what are you?
You speak it with the Southern twang kind of thing, But that's pretty cool, though. I mean, and that's one of the things because Even growing up in the South, where like one of the viewers was saying, the South kind of suppressed our culture. Actually, not even just the South. Well, I should say the South, yeah, because in New York and L.A. and Chicago, those kind of places, they celebrate culture. So in the South they actually don't. So, but even with that, you were still able to find your culture, find yourself, and grow from there. That's the thing. Not just find yourself, but you use that to grow, and that's a great thing. That's awesome.
And I got to give it up for my mom and dad for that. Like, even as a kid, they being in the deep South, they made us, and I hated it back then, sit at home and learn the letters of the Punjabi and Hindi alphabet and speak to us in it. And my dad used to make us read and watch the Mahabharata, the Ramayana, all these epic Indian movies and tales. And as a kid, I was like, why am I having to do this? But now as an adult, like, I'm like, thank God I had a little bit of that culture to me. Then otherwise, I just got lost in Alabama. You know what I mean? So.
Yeah. How did your parents end up in Alabama though? I mean, it's not like even one of the border states or anything, like one of the coastal states, but Alabama. I mean, like they sit in India, like they're sitting in India going, honey, I think we should go to Alabama.
And that's just how it happened, just like that. No, honestly, my father, most of our family that's on this side of the world, they're in Canada, Toronto, and Calgary, Edmonton, and New York. And I think it was like a kind of a big thing in our family. Like, I think some people were mad at my dad, but my father saw an opportunity. He was 25 years ago, maybe 30 years ago, whatever it was. He was going to move to the South because he was one of the only cardiologists available on the Gulf Coast at that time. So he came down, set up his practice, and was amazingly successful because he saw an opportunity in a place that needed cardiology, that had lower cost of living, and he took the family and moved us down there. And he hasn't looked back. I know for a fact he dealt with a lot of racist BS, political stuff from the hospital administration, from other doctors in his area. And even when I got a little bit older, I heard about some of it, and I was always kind of a hothead, like, tell me where they are. I'm gonna go find them right now. I'll tell them what's up. Like, and he deals with things differently. He deals with things he fights with his mind. He's an amazingly smart guy. So, that's what it was. He saw the opportunity down there, and he took it and opened up practice and hasn't looked back since.
That's good. That's very good. But like you said, you got a story to tell, and I'm pretty sure there are a lot of people out there that really want to hear your story, because there's a little kid right now. He could be Indian, he could be West Indian like me. Because when I first came to the United States, there weren't that many people. Well, there were a lot from Barbados, but not in my school, so I didn't see the things that I'm seeing today, which it's good that these kids now have a lot of pride, regardless of which island they're from, and they have their flags and their culture. But there's got to be, I'm sure there's still some little kids right now that don't realize that like you said, their parents making them watch those movies is a good thing. Learning your culture is a good thing. And it gives you the foundation to build on. That's a lot of Indians in Houston. Yeah. What was so funny, and not because it's like when you see a pocket of people in areas that you wouldn't expect to see them. Like when I went to Nashville, I went to this little town outside of Nashville. It was in Shelbyville. I'm trying to remember the name of it now. I think it was Antioch, but anyhow, it was a little, area, like, and you're seeing the Confederate flags and everything. And then there's like a whole set of Muslims all over the place. I'm talking about black, all different kind of Muslims, and I'm like, wait a sec, I would not expect to see them in the middle of Tennessee, in a place that I'm seeing Confederate flags flying all over the place. But you know what though? They were all really proud, and I went to a few of them, the restaurants, because a few of them, they're from different parts of Africa and different parts of and I'm like, wow, this is pretty cool. But it was just so weird to see them in the middle of Tennessee, in areas that as I'm driving through and I'm seeing the Confederate flag, I'm like, let me roll my window up. Hope the light doesn't turn red, kind of thing. But it was really cool though. So like for you to grow up in the middle of Alabama, where a lot of people wouldn't expect to see people that are from India, that's really good. It brings the culture to different areas. I think that's what's going to help to make this country move forward when it comes to diversities, because now we live among other people of different cultures, different religions, different races, and we start to show them that we're good people.
Exactly. We're all one, man. It's like humanity. We're all humans, and we all have these amazing, beautiful little quirks or traits or traditions or cultures or religions, and when you can really open your eyes and see that and understand that we're all different, we're all the same, it really I think that's one of the biggest first steps in kind of defeating and turning the way the whole racism and hate and judgment thing is going right now. Like, it's just understanding that we're all people, we're all different, we all have different likes and views, and that are all valid, they're all okay. We can all exist together very happily.
I tell people that all the time. I'm like, listen, if you find the one thing that we have in common, then we celebrate that one thing. The 10 things that we don't have in common won't matter. It's just the one that we have in common. We just celebrate that. If we all like me, I like cigars, and if you like cigars, we sit and smoke a cigar. We're good. We don't have to worry about the rest of the stuff.
Anywhere in the world, that's it. You can go anywhere, find that one small thing, and you can vibe and relate. You don't even need to communicate. A smile, a hello, a handshake, and a hug, and then sit down, smoke your cigar. Like, you're connected.
Yeah, that's why you notice on those mob movies, they're always smoking cigars, because that's the one thing. I think that's the one thing they have in common. Well, Rocky, I thank you very much for being on the show, man. I really do appreciate it. All right. And I'll definitely reach out to you when next time you're going to India. Let me know. I want to do the tour. I don't necessarily want to go to all the different places, but have a good cigar. Drink some tea. Go see the monuments. We good.
I got you. Take me. Trust me. I got you.
All right. All right. Thanks. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Steve. Thank you all for listening in. Thank you so much.
All right. Hey guys, so there you have it. We had Rocky on the show with us. Rocky is great. I'm telling you. So now you guys know where your hair is coming from. You know where how the business is working, how the business runs, all these different things. All right. Again, one of the things that I hope you guys got as a takeaway from this is start your business now. Start it today. All right. Don't sit around and say, oh, well, when the perfect time comes. There is no perfect time. A business is like is like having a baby. All right. People always sit and say, oh, I'm waiting for the perfect time to have a baby. There's no perfect time. There will never be a perfect time. Now is the best time. So you start your business now. If you guys want to start, like Rocky was just saying, if you want to do something with the hair industry, give him a call. Hook up with him. Let's see what what you guys can do, because this is the time right now to start an online business if you want to start one. So come on, let's do this, people. Don't just sit back and sit home and complain about, oh, you lost your job or the pandemic or this or that. Get moving, get forward, move forward. All right. If you want to start with the business with the hair industry, Rocky already told you, link up with him. We already put his number right here in the chat. Now you have no excuse. And it's not just that. Any other business you want to get into, whatever your passion is what you should do. Hair may not be your passion, but the tea may be your passion. So in that case, you link up with them and you talk about how you can buy some of the tea or the CBD or whatever from him, and you can sell it in your area. People, come on, let's do this. Let's make it happen. All right. So as always, get out there, get to, all right. So as always, just go to Lunchtime Talk with Steve, which is still my old website. I haven't changed it yet to the, to the new one, to Roundtable with Steve. I haven't changed it yet, but I will be changing it soon. What I encourage you guys to do is go out there, click on the Get Help section. When you click on the Get Help section, you'll see things like helping you with your rent, your water, your light, different things like that. Suicide prevention, if you need someone to talk to. There's so many resources out there. Feeding America tells you where you can get your you can get free food from the food banks. So let's make these things happen, all right? If you see a homeless person or a person that needs help, go out there and help them. Buy them something from McDonald's, from the dollar menu or whatever. Just give them something to eat, all right? Do a random act of kindness, because for tomorrow, you may be that stranger that need that random act of kindness. So let's do that. Let's just get out there and take care of each other. All right? Again, as always, take care of yourself. Take care of each other. Do a random act of kindness for a stranger. Peace, people. Please visit lunchtimetalkwithsteve.com if you would like to be a guest or advertise on the show. If you're interested in any of the products or services you saw on the show today, or if you would like to be a guest on the show, please visit our website, lunchtimetalkwithsteve.com. Thank you.